Hello again and welcome to another video. This is our 68 plate registered the 30th of November 2018 BMW 440i M Sport Auto. This car has just two owners from new, both private owners, and the car has covered just over 20,000 miles. I think it's just crept over to 20,056 to be precise. The car is finished in Sapphire black metallic, and there's a lot of spec on the car. The car was just over £50,000 new. So we're going to take you around the car and point out the spec on the car, what we've done to the car, and point out any little slight minor little stone chips if there are any, etc. So all of the cars here at Prestige Diesels and Sports are detailed to a very high level. All of the bodywork is machine polished, panel by panel, to take out all those little hairline scratches you get from washing your car over with a sponge. And you'll see from the reflection on the car just how beautiful the car's come up. Now, this morning we did touch in a couple of very, very small little millimeter chips on the bonnet, which I'll point out. They will be highlighted by the lights above because we haven't flat and polished them down yet. So I'm just going to do that straight away. And they will look white, but they are just catching the reflection. So there's what looks like a white chip there, but it's actually been touched in. We've just got to polish it back. If we come across, there's a couple of very tiny, small ones just there. But overall, I've been around the bonnet already. There is nothing nasty on there at all. Like I say, we've got very bright lights that you can see in the reflection. They're like 19,000 lumens of light, each one of those bulbs. So it's like looking at the car under a microscope, if you like. You take the car outside, you don't actually see any of this, but it's just nice to be really transparent on the video. So if I just step back there, can you see that shine has come up absolutely beautiful. And the windscreen as well is not peppered at all. There's no repairs or anything on the window. We've got the connective drive camera up on the top there as well. And if we just come back down, we've got the LED headlights. We'll come down. We've put some lovely black gloss grills in the front there, which I think really transforms the car. We've got front fog lights, front and rear parking sensors. We've got the surround view as well. I'm just going to bring you in closer along the front here so you can see that it's not all peppered. It's just beautiful and shiny all the way along here. And the same with the headlights. So you'll see that the lenses are nice and clear and the lights are on. Sometimes when cars, I don't know, maybe people drive behind these salt lorries or something, but when the lights are on, you see all these little speckly bits on the headlight where they've been peppered, but these are lovely and crystal clear. And the fog light's the same. And just on the side there, you can see one of the surround view cameras. And we'll go through this when we get in the car, but these ones on the front bumper are generally for when you pull out at a junction and you can see down the road. And we're looking down the driver's side, and this is always a really good angle to look at the cars from. And you can see just how true those panels are. And what that's telling you is it hasn't had any paintwork or it hasn't had any dents or damage on it, because there are always telltale signs in the reflection. And you can see that the reflection is crystal clear. So we'll do the same on the other side as well. And come down on this side. Obviously we've got a different reflection from what's in the background, but all nice and true. And we'll come down the wing. There's nothing on the door, so I'm just scanning around looking for anything that I can see to point out. There's no scratches around the door handles. There's no scratches or chipping on the edge of the door. And all of the sill is beautifully polished. I'm going to come up now onto the roof and show you that there are no scratches, there are no bird dropping stains. Bird droppings, I should say, if they're left on your paintwork, they can do a lot of damage to the paint, especially in bright sunlight. We've obviously got the sun protection glass at the back of the car, which reflects the heat back out. We look at the boot lid, all in lovely condition. And the darker, slightly more smoked rear lights, the lights are on at the moment, but they are, on the earlier cars, they were a bit redder, they're a bit more smoked. I'm going to bring you down onto the rear wheel. Now the car is fitted with Pirelli star-rated run-flat tyres. These are the dearer but the quieter choice of tyre. They've all got lots of tread on. I think they're probably around about sort of like 6 mil at least. And all the wheels in lovely condition. You can see the M Sport brakes there. Just take you back and show you the front wheel. And you can see the bigger calipers at the front there. M Performance brakes always look really nice on the BMWs. Slightly bigger caliper with a bigger pad, bigger disc, better braking. So we'll come back out. Just going to make sure this is in focus. And then you can see the side profile of the car. The car's full BMW service history. All of the cars here then get taken to our local BMW specialist that we've been using for a long time. They're plugged in, diagnostically checked to make sure there's no fault codes in there for anything that we need to sort out, and make sure that all the service items are up to date on the car. All the parts used are what they call OEM. We don't use any cheap Chinese filters or anything like that, all German quality parts and filters. And all of the service work goes onto the iDrive and onto the BMW online system. So we've got the rear parking sensors there. And if we come down to look at the bottom valance, the light grey section you can see down there, or the mid grey, and all of the tailpipes have come up really nice. They've all been polished. I'm just gonna gently zoom in, show you that everything is as immaculate as it can be on the car. And all of the bumper, in fact the bumper on this car, there was a couple of marks just on the top, and we had the complete bumper redone by our professional paint company that do a lot of work for a lot of the local main dealers. We don't have anything done that isn't going to be pretty much perfect afterwards, and the colour match in the finish is just as it should be. And there was just a couple of blotches and marks. I think there were some scratches that someone had tried to buff out, which is quite normal on the back there. And then if we look across the back here, no dents on the edge. Really nice, got the camera under there, all lovely and clean up under there as well. Every little nook and cranny. And down the side there. All the rear lights have been machine polished as well. In fact, while we're here, I think we will just pop the boot open, because you can then see all of the back and see the plastic trim just on the inside of the boot there. No scratches there. All of the carpets in really nice condition. They look a lot better to my eye. The camera picks up where the lights are above, sort of reflect off of the carpet, if you like. It always looks a different shade. It's a lot darker in the flesh. And then we've got these levers at the top that drop the seats down. And then we've got the toolkit and the locking wheel nut just in there. First aid kit, let's put that back. And then underneath, again, all lovely and clean, all under there. And then we've got the warning triangle, just just step back a little bit so you can see all that. There we go. And then all the shuts around the boot. All this is cleaned. I think that mark on the window is just, that runs along to where the rubber sits. So all lovely under there, like I say. So I'll pop that down. Okay, so this is the filler cap side. Always an area to check out in case anyone's been clumsy with the fuel nozzle. And you can see there's no scratches there. We'll pop it open for you. All nice and tidy in there as well. And these cars run absolutely perfectly on the E10 fuel. All of the black gloss around the windows, there's no damage to them, and they're all taped up when we machine polish. Sometimes when people are machine polishing, they don't tape up these edges and they wear the black gloss off on the edge, and you can't take shortcuts like that because it just damages the trim. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll come down and look at the driver's side rear wheel. Come out a little bit. Oh, I think we zoomed in, didn't we? Zoom, there we go. I'm probably a bit close. And yeah, that wheel all in lovely condition. Just going to show you down the side of the car. Look at that reflection. It's like a mirror. You could almost do your hair in that, apart from the fact that I haven't got any hair. There we go. And all around the door handle. And if I grab, bear with me a second, grab the key, if I lock the car and then unlock the car, we've got the LED lights under the door handles both sides as well. All of the glass all around the car I've checked, no damage. I've checked the other wing mirror, and you can see the wing mirror on this side. Come up onto the roof. The little red dot, in case you're wondering what that is, that just lets us know that it's due to go in, it's booked in, it's going for its checks, which we'll do after the weekend. We've got the heads up display. Just come out and show you the car from this side. The car's looking really, really sharp. And thankfully this is a black car, which is a lot easier for me in the showroom because everything's white or light grey in here. So you can really get a good idea of the contrast of and the shape of the car. The Coupes are such a lovely looking car, and the 440 engine is among the best that BMW have produced. It gives out about 326 brake horsepower, although they always underestimate them slightly and they make a bit more. And with a Celtic remap, I think they go to about 423 or 426. I'm going to unlock the car. So we're going to check out inside. So we've got the black Dakota leather. We've got Harman Kardon sound system. Now this gives you about, I think it's about 16 speakers in all. It might be slightly different on the Coupe, but we've got 2 in the door there. There's always extra speakers underneath the front 2 seats, and up in front of the professional media on the dash there's another speaker, and then there's more in the door cards, and I believe, yeah, up on the top parcel shelf, if you want to call it that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see in there, but there you go, extra speakers up there as well. So coming back to the door card, all of the door handle on this side, there's no damage. Let's just get that back in there. There we go, back in focus. And no scuff marks, no damage on the edges. So seat belts haven't been trapped in the door and it hasn't damaged, because that's where they get damaged. If you look right down here, we've got puddle lights, and also just how clean it is. Nothing's been missed. The door shuts. Oh, let me just get a better grip of this. There we go. All of the door shuts, machine polished, all the trims, all the hinge area, lovely and clean. The rubbers around the door, aperture, no wear there. You can see we've got a button to move the seat on the Coupe backwards and forwards, like so. And on the 440s, you get electric seats, electric lumbar, sorry, not lumbar, bolster. That's the little rocker button at the back there, the black one, and that inflates this side and this side to give you a more snug fit on the seat. The middle section, or the front section I should say, comes forward to give you more support. All the mats are in there. Just move across. I'll show you more of the controls when we come around and jump in the car. But as you can see, all in lovely condition. I'm just gonna pull this seat back. All of the back of the front seats, no damage. No damage on the centre air vents or anything. Carpets and all the Isofix there. There's no dents in the leather from car seats or anything. You've got a centre armrest that pulls down there as well. No marks on the leather. You see the side door, side of the back of the car there as well. The little button on the headrest, that's if you pull the headrest forward, that button releases it to push the headrest back. So basically, if you want more support, you can push it forward like that. Press the button, it brings it back. So we've done the boot. We'll come round to the other side. I'm not too sure if I showed you the car back here. I think we did. Just to come out and around again. There's quite a bit of spec, so I've got a piece of paper with me with all the spec printed out. I'm trying to hold without making too much noise. So let's open up the driver door. I'm just going to turn those lights to the off position for a second. So we've also got the folding electric mirrors with anti-dazzle, which is an extra. So that's this button here. And that folds both of the mirrors in. That should hopefully put them back out, yeah. Now you can also, when you get out the car, they don't automatically fold in on the BMW range, but by pressing and holding the lock button, they will fold in. So you can control that quite easily. Speakers, and then just coming down to look at the door card. Let's try and get this, there we go. No damage, just take it to the outside. No damage down there, all along there. You always get a couple of little tiny scuff marks. In fact, they might just wipe off, I'm not too sure. Just where people get out the car there, light underneath. And then the seal on the driver's side, just come all the way up and around. All of the rubbers, again, no damage, no wear marks. You'd be surprised how some cars, for whatever reason, it must be the way people get in and out of the cars, they rub their bum on them and they sort of wear them through. Happens occasionally, but not on this car. And again, all the seal and all the foot pedals, see how nice and tidy it is in there and clean. We've got the memory seat on the driver's side. So with the memory, it will also memorize your wing mirror positions as well. So you've got two different memory positions there. And with the electric seats, you can tilt the front of the seat up. The bow, you can sort of twist the angle. It's a bit hard for me to show you on the camera. Let me just pull this seat back a bit. And then what we'll do, we'll come up onto the top. So no heavy creasing on the base there. All of the bolsters, both sides, all in lovely condition, no wear there. Headrests, steering wheel's all in really nice condition. There's no wear and tear on the steering wheel, as you'd expect, you know, on a 20,000 mile car. Now this car's got driving assistant as well, which gives you these two buttons down here. One is for lane assist, and one is for collision control, or collision warning I should say. It's not going to control the way that you crash, it's going to warn you before you crash. Okay, so let's shut the doors, put the lights back on auto. It's going to be easier if I start the car up. Okay, so we're going to take the handbrake off because it's in park anyway. There you go, 20,056 miles. And we've got the lights on. Let's turn those up. In fact, let's put the lights on like so. So straight away you can see that we've got both of those options on. Excuse my feet, it's been very warm lately. So if I turn the lane warning assist off, you can see it goes out. That lets you know it's on. As soon as you go over 40 miles an hour, as it's pointing out to you down here, it will vibrate the steering wheel and warn you. Now before I forget, because it's an easy one to forget, we've got the heads up display. And for those of you that don't know or haven't seen it before, if you look just under the headlight and just to the left of that where it says LT on the number plate, if I then flick, or above the number plate, it's a lot clearer to the eye, the camera's picking it up just about. You'll get the speed information, which will give you the speed of the road, the miles per hour, and I'm currently flicking through the DAB channels. If I press the mode button on the steering wheel, we can go to FM, flick through there, AM, music collection is the 80 gig hard drive, and save stations, and then back to your DAB. The phone button on the steering wheel, when the phone's connected, will show the last dialed numbers. So zoom back out, and that was by using the mode button there, and then we were scrolling up and down with this button, and then you can press on that scroll wheel to select. We've got voice control there and the volume control, and then over on the left of the steering wheel we've got speed limiter, which is this top button. So when you press that, you'll see straight away we've got a green symbol over here, and using the roller button again, we can set, say, 50 mile an hour or 60 mile an hour, and the car will not drive over that speed. There is a safety feature built in where you can accelerate past it if you put your foot down hard for emergencies, but that will stop you breaking the speed limit. And then if we press the cruise control button, which is just below it, down here, cruise has come on. I'll turn it off again and then turn it back on. And then just down here you'll see a dial come up as well. And then we can set the speed once we're driving. It won't activate while we're stationary. So I'm just going to actually put the air conditioning on because it is really warm. Okay, we've then got heads up display, which is, heads up display, professional meter, which is touch screen. Now I'll just show you that you can move all this around, etc. I'm going to use the iDrive wheel with the shortcuts so that my fingers don't go all over the screen. I think the first thing I'm going to show you is when you go into my vehicle. Oh no, it's media, sorry. I'm looking at the camera and I can't quite read it. I need my glasses. You can see on the right there, you've got all the sub menus for that section for the vehicle settings. For the moment, I'm just going to drop down to here, click into there and go to displays, because in here we've got the heads up display. So we can either turn it off, because with your sunglasses on you won't see the heads up display very well. Now when you do that, when you press the mode button, it will direct everything down to the black panel display or full back panel display, so it all comes up down here so you can read everything, and like I say, telephone when it's connected. So we'll just go back button, we'll engage a heads up display, and then information displayed is all ticked, so it'll give you all of this information on the heads up display, including your cruise control, navigation, etc. And then here we can adjust the brightness. We didn't have the brightness right up, so it might be easier to read it now. If we then come, let's leave that there, come down one, we can adjust the height and the rotation of the heads up display. So if to you it looks slightly lopsided like so, you can adjust it to get it square to you, so it's not annoying you, I guess. Brightness for the display, instrument cluster, etc. So we'll come out of there, go back up to vehicle details. So with your lights, interior lighting, they're always left on sport, which is a white light for all your interior lights. If you put it on classic, you'll see you've got ambient lighting up here in the orange, under the doors as well, door cards. And then if I get this in the right position, all under the climate control system around it, you can see the glow. So at night, all the cockpit's lit up really nicely. So let's just come back up here. Exterior lights, this is where you can change the one touch turn signal. You can have it on 3 times or 1 time, so without putting the stalk all the way down, you can just dab it down quickly and it will just blink 3 times, which is usually what you want when you're changing lanes. That's your welcome lights for your headlights when you come in, home lights. You can adjust the time period they stay on for. So come out of there. Doors and keys, comfort entry. When you double press the key, it will open the windows up for you as well. You can have it on relock automatically, so if you leave the car and you've got the key with you, it will after a certain time lock the car, lock after pulling away, and flash when you unlock and lock. Intelligent safety, so this is the collision, front end collision warning system, and you can change this to early, medium or late, so it will warn you. You can see the car at the front moving backwards and forwards when I do that, so we'll have it on early. We don't want to surprise anyone. And I'm just going to press the lane assist, warn your vehicle to lane departure warning. There you go. So when you cross the white line, as it shows you in the picture, it will vibrate the steering wheel and warn you. Speed warning, like it says, you can set a speed warning there, whatever speed you want, and or current speed, and then select it so it dings when you go over that speed, so you know when you've gone over the speed limit. That's all your driving mode configuration there. We'll come back into that in a bit because we're going to see that in another window. Vehicle tracking, that's your GPS. So you can see you can change all the dates and units down here as well. Driver profiles, so if you want to set this up, for example, I've got 1 key in the car at the moment, and make sure when you're doing this you don't have both keys, because you won't know which key you've set up. But we can basically name this key, and this will actually memorize all of the settings, radio channels, everything. Let me just get this right. I'll put Prestige in there. So we've now called this key Prestige. So all the radio settings, the seat settings. I mean, if I click on driver 2, you can hear the radio's just changed. What you didn't see, I saw it, but the wing mirror changed. So I'm going to click it back to Prestige. I'll show you that if I get this in focus. See that wing mirror move into position, and we've gone back to, and also the climate control where it was last left is all changed back. So you can basically set each key up for independent drivers with the electric seat, everything. Come out of there. In fact, we might have to go out this way. Now, vehicle status, this is where it'll show you your tyre pressures. You can reset the tyre monitor there. Do an oil check, it'll measure the oil for you once the engine's warm. Check control, no faults in there. And the service requirements, so all the history is up here. So 11,000 miles for engine oil and microfilter. And as you can see, the only reason that's in amber, and this was around the lockdown, that's because they're saying it was 2 months over 24 months or something, but we'll get that put back to green, because that's a bit unfair, isn't it? You couldn't book your car in during the blinking lockdown to get anything done. And then that's the brake fluid. So the first one's 3 years, because the brake fluid is all completely brand new. After that, when they do a brake fluid change, you're never getting all of it out, so they refer it back to 2 years. So the brake fluid's then every 2 years, so that won't be due till April 2023. It's not long had quite a big service here. This is the bigger service. So this is engine oil, a vehicle check, microfilter, air cleaner for the engine, and all the spark plugs have been done. So the bigger service has been done, and like I say, we will just check through here. Due April 23, engine oil 19,000 miles, June 2024. Front pads 14,000 miles remaining, rear pads 49,000 miles. But like I say, this will still go round, it will still get checked by my guy that I use, and anything that needs to be done, but I think everything's looking pretty good in there, but it still get plugged in and checked. In fact, what we'll do now, we'll go up to media. I just want to see, oh no, we're at it again, Scott, come on, get your stuff together. So this is all your media options, your Bluetooth, just want to check over, yeah, USB, sound, graphic equalizer in here as well. Now the Harman Kardon sound system is a really nice system, and you really wouldn't want to be without it in a BMW, because the standard system is very hollow, empty sounding in comparison. So Harman Kardon is the way forward. And if we just go into, I just want to check, I'm pretty sure, in fact I've got the list here. This has got the Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, if we go into, where is it? Connective Drive. Okay, so the subscription for the online entertainment looks like it's just expired, probably last month or something. I can't remember the date of reg now. But you can pay BMW Connected Drive services to have some extra features in here if you so wish. I don't think you need them personally, but notifications just brings up messages and stuff. There's your telephone communication is all in here, and if we go across here, this is where you can see we've got telephone, audio, the apps, and the internet hotspot. Now we've also got the wireless Bluetooth charging. We've got a USB in there as well. Now this car doesn't currently have the Apple CarPlay, but I'm pretty sure, because it's got the Wi-Fi hotspot, it has got an additional USB port just down there. This is the cheaper of the two options to have the Apple CarPlay. We've just had it fitted on another car here. I think it's about £150. And the Apple CarPlay that we have uploaded onto the car will be the full screen. Now, when BMW do it, let me give you an example. Let's go into map for a, can you see this section of the screen here? In fact, I need to go map to give you a better idea of this. It's a split screen, so when you've got Apple CarPlay from BMW, you only get this section, but when we have it fitted, it's the full screen, which is a lot nicer. And being that this is the touch screen, when you're using apps like Waze and things like that, it's a lot easier to function with, because otherwise you've got to use this iDrive wheel to negotiate round some of the apps. But with the touch screen, it's much better. So it's well worth having that fitted. And this is just a choice of the windows you can have on this side. Go to the top, turn off split screen. There we go. So if we come down, we've got climate control, we've got heated seats there. Worth pointing out, these buttons here, you can just slide your finger over those, and you can see that you can assign them. Now you can also, if you come down the menus on the side here, in fact let's just go back, I meant to do this, there you go. It tells you what each window's for. Now if we put in direction of travel, so that's looking straight down, I'll press number 7. We can actually save these windows as shortcuts. And then if we go back over here, because that view is very good for built up areas, but on the motorway most people prefer perspective, looking more forward so they can see the next junction they're coming off at. We can save that in number 8, and that just saves you the bother of having to go in there. We press number 7 now, flick straight to that screen, press number 8, goes back. Now there's a shortcut button that says nav around the iDrive. If we go to address input, this is where we've already got our address in there, but we can either use voice control or with our finger just right on the top of the pad. Let me make sure this is in focus. So P
O 3,
and then if you want a space, left to right,
space,
gives you the space,
5,
and that ding
R,
was just to let me know that we need to put a little bit more fuel in the car. And then when you press down, and then it'll shortcut you to your road or where we are. So all very easy to use, to be honest with you, compared to some of the cars. I do find some of the Mercedes are a little bit fussy, and so are the Audis, so complicated. It'll take you a few months just to get your head around it. And then in here we've got all the books. Also with the BMWs, and this isn't the same on all of the manufacturers, if we go into my vehicle, go down to owner's handbook, cleverly BMW will only have in this search items that are actually on the car. So you can check what's on the car in here, and for example there are some animated, okay, so dynamic stability, high beam assist we have on the car, so it'll automatically dip the headlights. We can play this little video, or maybe we can't because we haven't got a signal because we're inside, and it did that the other day to me. But there are some little animations. Let's try another one just in case. We've got the system. That's why. It's because it was turned off, maybe. There we go.
This system enables you to set a desired speed, for example, for a speed limit, which is then maintained automatically by the
So that's your
vehicle.
cruise control. And if you go back into animations, high beam assist, and then it will show you how the lights
The high
work.
beam assistant switches the high beam headlights on and off in response to the light conditions and traffic situation.
So quite clever. So if you need to find anything out, you can. I need to turn the radio down because YouTube won't like that. Okay, just checking. Yeah, we have got front sliding armrest as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, in fact, we've got the car running. Really lovely sound. Now, I nearly forgot, excuse me, I haven't done a video for a few days. Let's come out of here. Let's put the car in reverse. Now straight away you can see we've got the parking sensors front and rear, and we've also got this almost like overhead view, which is using cameras under the wing mirrors and the rear camera to see almost all the way around the car. So that's our first view. If we drag the iDrive wheel over to the left, you can see we're highlighted over here. We've got rear camera view. We can also put parking guidelines, obstacle markers, adjust the brightness, etc. Or if we come out of there and use the camera button down here, so I'm going to press that. We've now flipped to the cameras at the front, and you can see from this marker, let me just come in close for you. The yellow marks is showing you where the cameras are showing you. So they're showing you from the side of the bumpers looking out. And if I show you the car over there, you can see all the way. See, we can't see the front of it from here, but you can in the camera. And the same on this side. So really handy, those cameras, for when you're pulling out at a blind junction. It just gives you a bit more view down the road. So you've got cameras pretty much all round, and that's the surround view. So let's just put it back in park. We've then got our driving modes with the Eco through to Sport. Eco Pro, this feature will change the ECU settings and you can make it more efficient and see your efficiency on here. Let's just go back. We can configure it here and you'll see that we've got 92% efficiency there, and by dropping this down to say 50 miles an hour, that's now reached 100%. Eco Pro for the climate control, so that will adjust the air that it kicks out for economy whilst keeping you cool still. Now coasting, we've dropped 10% because we turned coasting off. What coasting will do will allow the vehicle to free roll up to a junction to save fuel. So basically you can come off the throttle a bit early, you get no engine braking, and you can just glide up to the junction, thus saving you fuel. So I think we've covered that as well now. So we're gonna pop the bonnet open. Now it's 2 pulls to release the bonnet. And this is our straight 6 twin power turbo engine. Twin power turbo being a twin scroll turbo, 2 inlet ports into the turbo, which makes the turbo spin up a lot quicker from the exhaust gas emissions, making it more responsive, get a bit more power, better fuel economy. The entire engine bay has been cleaned carefully by hand using products like WD-40 or equivalent to WD-40. This isn't an advert for WD-40 by any means. And it's a nice, safe product to clean around the engine bay. These are all hoovered out to take out any leaves, no jet washing in there. You don't want to make a mush in there which will block up your waterways. Just come round to try and keep this nice and clear. So all beautifully clean under there, and also it's just as shiny, the paintwork underneath, as it is on the outside. Bonnet down. Absolutely stunning car, lovely condition. A really good set of tyres with lots of tread remaining. We've got some fantastic warranty packages at very affordable prices that we can take. You can take a warranty up to 4 years now. So if you're doing a PCP, you can make sure your car is covered throughout that time, so you don't get any bills, you know, for anything that you might need to do. We've got PCP, lease purchase, and HP finance options. Be quite good to, if you're thinking about buying something, the finance companies are putting the rates up with the Bank of England keep changing the rates, so try and, you know, get a deal now while the rates are still good. So thank you for taking the time to watch the video. This, I think, is the longest video I've done, but I wanted to make sure I covered the car really well. Thanks for watching. Give us a call. Take care. Bye.